positions that might be a little bit better. Yes. Right, well, there we have that. Fits on there lovely. Right, okay, so that's that seal done. Now, if you remember, well, you probably remember quicker than I do, because this has been about 2 weeks, I suppose, since I took it apart. I elected to replace the roller bearing, like so. Then there was a spacer, like so. And then there was a thrust bearing, like so. And at the back there was like a little needle roller with a just shim, capping shim. I elected to leave the needle roller because it looked in quite good condition. Now, all I can't remember is how good a fit that was in there. I think what I'm going to have to do is pop that in there, like so, knock that in. Because I remember drifting it out, of course, because I'd knocked it out on its cap. So, I'm just find something that will go down in the hole. Right, does that go in there on its own? Yes, it does. Now the bearing probably does. Oh, yes, it does. I don't know whether it's needs tapping in there. Right, I think I want tapping in there a bit more than that. Now I'm using this for something else at the moment, so I do not want to damage it. Right, lead hammer. I made this quite some time ago. Quite feels so like some time ago anyway. Right, feels like it. Yep, the washer's not rattling around in there now. So I think that's in. It's definitely not going in there anymore. Now, the bearing I got for this is one-sided, so the shield's on one side. I went for a metal shield. Don't know why. Could have gone for a rubber one. Doesn't really matter because we've obviously got the seal on the end here. But I elected to go for an extra seal anyway. I'm going to put this pre-greased, but I'm going to put grease in here. I'm going to put some grease on the end of the shaft first of all. Now I've said in a few videos why I use this grease, and it mainly has to do with the fact that it is quite an oily grease. Right. Right, that's that. Right, okay. Now, wipe that off. So the next thing I've got to do is put this bearing on here. So we are looking for something to stand this one in. I could just use that, couldn't I? That'll do. Don't mind whacking that bearing because that is a shagged one anyway. Right, next thing is a good old socket to drive that on with. Right, just checking you're still with me. Hello. here we are. So bearing correct way in, socket, hammer, right, okay, so that bearing's on. Now shim like so, and the thrust bearings. Right, no discernible grease on those. So let me apply a bit of extra in here. Right, that, so shim like so, washer like so. I want to put the other way up, right into the outside. Don't know, just me, whether that's right or wrong. I keep moving around, I don't know whether I'm taking it out of shot or not. Bearing. Right, there we go. So put a bit more on that tail shaft. Not going to do any harm. It's not going to do any harm really if I put a load of jollop on it actually at all. Like so. And let's see now, I might have to tap this bearing in. I cannot remember. Yeah, possibly going to have to tap this bearing in. Right, it's going in there nicely. Now, I'm going to use his cap, because I've just realised the bearing is held on. This cap screws it in. So, now I'm going to have to grip this and do this up. Now, I haven't got a pin tool that's going to go in there, as you know, so 2 pairs of grips, do it up. Now, I'm just thinking, before I do this, the limiting factor on this isn't the top bearing being clamped down. It is, in fact, the thrust washer. So I think this needs to be goed in as far as it's going to go, because the thrust washer must be doing its work. If I just do the cap up, the bearing sits against the back of the cap. I don't know the thrust washer is actually doing its job. And the last thing I want to do is actually use it for machining it and just gradually push it in, because then I'll be possibly losing pressure on the tip. So, continue tapping. Mad with it. It went in there quite gently. But yes, right. As far as I'm concerned, that's it. cap on. Right, pair of grips. Really should have set the adjustment on these before I started, shouldn't I? Right, that's it. Lovely. It's quite stiff for this one, but I suspect that will loosen up quite quickly. It is loosening up already. That grease is just getting smoothed into the areas where it doesn't want to be. Right. Okay, so we started with 4 used live centres. Now if you remember, the smallest one of these was just cream crackered totally. So got those 3. So I've got those 3, and I have got my original Merry, who God knows what the Merry brand is, whatever, it's probably Chinese anyway, but I don't know. So 4 live centres. Do I need 4 live centres? Probably not, but I've got 4 live centres. Now I have got, with these, I had some other bits and pieces, and I think if I have a look around, I've got machined cones that someone's machined up to fit on the top of these, probably this one. I mean, all of them. This one's probably the heaviest duty. It's got the largest bearings in it. Definitely got some weight to it, that's for sure. But we'll see. My Merry one has actually got a hardened tip on it. You can see the brazed in part there. Now obviously this one's a little bit rough, but it'll do. It will serve a purpose. It will do a job. Now we know that's got 1 bearing in it, a thrust bearing and the back roller bearing. This one I can't even remember. I think it was all serviceable, wasn't it? And I just regreased it all. And we know this one's got just 2 large ball bearings in it. Now you could argue that this one's got, they're not thrust bearings as such, but we'll see. I have a lovely array of live centres now, and I've got about 3 standard fixed centres. I'm really not going to be needing them all, but there we are. So one day maybe when I've got enough viewers I might give one away. We'll see. Anyway, for now, thanks for watching. Subscribe, ring the bell, thumbs up and all that kind of jazz. Ta-da. Take care.